Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now in previous videos we discussed about the various segmentations that happen across the globe, how the companies do market segmentation and basically then devise a plan of targeting and positioning their product and service. Now very first part of that segmentation, usually that is considered as a broader aspect, is the geographical segmentation. Now what is geographical segmentation? Basically it is a method of segmenting people based on their location, and according to that location the companies decide how to target and present their product and service to the people living at that particular location. Right now, what are the important variables that are that make the geographical segmentation so important? Now if you take in companies perspective, right, let's think about that. Right now, if I know that in which geography I need to target my product or service, I will become a more relevant brand in that area, right? It's not that I am a brand existing in the market where there are tens of other brands, but I have no significance of my own, right? If I carefully design the area, devise the area in which I want to operate, I will be more relevant to the population there, right? Right product will be shown to right customer, and that's why I'll become a more relevant brand, more memorable brand. Second is I'll save more money. Now if I know my geography, I'll spend less than what I was earlier doing on advertisements, right, on maybe targeting and positioning, and I'll even spend much lesser on R&D, and I'll give you a better product as a company, right? Third, it is much more easier to penetrate that market that is already in accordance with the product and service you are offering. So that geographical area, in that geographical area, it will be easier for you to set up. It will be easier for you to communicate better for the companies, right? Large companies do that. So large companies usually find the geographical areas, and then what they do is they change their product designs, launch new products according to the geography. Take example of FMCG brands like ITC, HUL, PNG, right? What they did in rural areas, in rural markets, instead of big shampoo bottles, they introduced small sachets, 1 rupee, 2 rupee sachets of shampoo, and they were instant hit. They catered to that area because they knew the type of people there, the geography, the population, and they need to play on the scale rather than the value derived from one particular product. That is how people customize. Many brands customize their products based on geography, right? Now for smaller companies, it's much more crucial because smaller companies already don't have so much capital to invest, and for them starting the segmentation based on geography becomes really important and relevant, right? So these are the factors that basically influence the variables that are influencing that why you basically need the geographical segmentation. What are other advantages? If you segment your geography properly, the instant thing that will come in your mind is, obviously that will work, is profits. Obviously you will increase profits because the right product or service will reach the right customer, right? Furthermore, it will derive more growth. Your focus will be more, your efforts will be focused on that particular segment of people who have the same like-minded needs, like-minded demands, and who think likewise and who spend likewise, right? So you'll be more focused on that smaller group rather than a bigger chunk you have no idea of, right? Your communication will be very strong. You will be able to communicate the benefits of your product much more effectively because you know the consumer will be accepting of that, right? So your communication will increase, and that is how your brand will also become more relevant, as we discussed in the previous points, right? Now let's talk about what the variables that come under this segmentation, right? So for geographical segmentation, you need to think of some pointers, right? How you'll start it, right? Now the first one is location. Where are you located? Starting from which continent, which country, which part of the country is it? Northern, southern, and the place you're targeting within that country. Is it a state? Are you going to target a city, particular city, a town? So what particular area or place you want to target, that really plays a crucial role. I'll give you an example. So let's take an example of a sports company, Nike, right? So in America, Nike products, the whole marketing campaign, advertisements, products will be more focused on baseball and American football, right? But in Europe, they will be more focused on soccer, right? In countries like India, they will be more focused on cricket, right? So that is how their marketing and product strategies change based on the geography, the location, right? So important. Another important factor, that is climate. Now climate is very, very, very important. Take an example of, let's say, Canada, right? So in winters it's snowy there, right? It snows, right? So an apparel brand who has very hardcore winter clothes, right? Winter boots, very high warm jackets and everything, they will target their products much more effectively there rather than a subtropical area or humid or warm area like India, where it hardly snows in 80% of the regions, right? Obviously up north it does snow, but yeah, those them target market will be different, right? And the time period, for how much time it will, their revenue planning structure. So climate is an important factor, right? For beverages such as Coke, obviously in places which are hot and humid, there are chances that the demand for their product will be better throughout the year, right? And for places which are more cold areas, right, like Greenland or Iceland, so their demand may vary depending upon the climate and all those needs, because people might switch to hot beverages in winters, right? So climate again plays an important role. Culture is again very important. Now culture plays such an important role that a brand can completely fail if done wrong, because what are the beliefs of the people in that area, where there can be religious beliefs or their social beliefs, how they interact with other people, that's really important. The belief system of the society is really important culturally. Very good example is McDonald's. So McDonald's has to always change its menu according to the country or the place in which it resides. In India, McDonald's never serves beef and pork because they know the religious sentiments of the people in India. Their menu is different in Korea. Their menu is very different in America, in Japan. So they cater to the local people's needs, wants, demands, their cultural and their societal, their religious beliefs, everything. So if a brand cannot do that, you are doomed, right? So culture is so important, and culture plays such an important role because people of different culture, mixed culture, also reside in the same country. But you have to see who are you targeting finally. What is your target market? So this is much granular, right? Population is again very important factor. How much population are you catering to? And what type of population, the density of population. So for example, clothing retailers who are big brands, they usually go to tier 1 and tier 2 cities because they know the population density is higher there. They know the disposable income of the people is higher there. They know that people, if the density is high, there are more chances of people entering their stores and there are more chances of converting, right? Malls are usually in tier 1 cities because tier 1 cities are much denser. Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, these are highly populated areas, and obviously population drives people to go out and come to the stores and try new products. So density is really important, and obviously the type of product is important for that density, right? So population density is so much important. Now when I talk about density of population, I also mentioned the tier, right? Tier 1 cities, tier 2 cities. So they also need to granularize that which type of population is it. Is it an urban population? Is it a semi-urban population? It's a rural population, rural areas, right? What are the facilities there? Do people go above their utilitarian needs if it's a rural place? If it's an urban place, what type of hedonic needs do people look for? What type of appreciational needs people look for? Because obviously if you are living in an urban area, it is assumed that your basic needs are anywhere there, but people will be going for their aspirations. People will be going for a much larger pocket, companies can push for a pricey product there, and they can't do that in rural areas, because rural areas, then as the name rural suggests, there is constraints of money, there is constraint of disposable income. So all those things matter, that where does your product stand Is it affordable? It is luxury, it is ultra luxury. Does it fulfill a utility, a basic utility life? Like, does it fulfill a hedonic need? Does it fulfill the aspirational value? Does it uplift an individual based on the purchase, like an iPhone? So iPhone, whoever purchases, they feel aspiration, they feel luxury, they feel appreciated by having that in possession, versus a 1,000 rupee phone that Jio just launched in for the rural areas, right, to uplift those people from 2G technology to 4G. But what is the price of that product? 1,000 rupees, that's it. But that has a different value, right? That is to bring people, community closer to the 4G technology, closer to UPI payments, digitalization, basically. How that's their goal of iPhone is very different, Apple is very different, right? And that's why the pricing is very different. 80 times 80,000 rupees iPhone, very different. Customer clientele is very different, right? So you need to understand that where you're going to go, right? Language is another important factor. Now, what kind of language do people speak? Are majority of the people there English speaking, or do they speak any local language? What sort of language do they prefer? Because according to that language, you have to address people in that language only. Whether there are Google ads, where is your advertisement, billboards, your communication on your bottles, on your products, on your packaging, everything matters, right? Because if it's not in the local language, people are gonna stray away, basically. There are high chances of it. So local communication is very important. Without communication, you cannot basically tell about your product to the customer, and at the end you might fail, right? So see how geography is such an important factor, how geographical segmentation basically starts. This is from where the companies have to basically start, especially international brands who want to cater to different countries, different continents. This is where they start, and this is why it is so important, right? Now, what do companies do basically to segment people out? Very important again, right? So a lot of factors are involved. They conduct survey research. There are various companies from whom they purchase the sales data, right? So they can understand people's behavior and all the geographical states and everything. What is the sale data in that particular area? How much spending is there? How people spend, what is their purchasing behavior, all those things, right? So they can purchase that data. Website data is there, right? How come people are interactive with the e-commerce platforms in that particular geographical area? Are they more retail oriented or e-commerce oriented, or however? For example, what are the Amazon sales in that particular geography will tell a lot about people's behavior, right? Very important. What is the mobile usage in that area? How many people own a mobile? How many people have the 4G and 5G connections? What is the average price of phone? What is the network they are using? What is their internet usage? All these things really important. Social media profiles. How many social media profiles are from that particular geographical area, right? What kind of people are there? Are there really very hefty celebrities living in that area? Are many influencers that are coming from that area or not for social media marketing? A lot of factors are there from where they click, right? So I hope this information was really helpful to you. We'll discuss behavioral, psychographical, all those factors again in the next videos. But yeah, this one was specifically about geographical segmentation. Take care. Bye. Like, subscribe, share.